Good evening, everyone. We're here again with another episode of Agri Business Now. I would like to thank everyone who made a special effort to join us tonight, and to those joining us for the first time, I hope that you'll enjoy the program. I am Nakita Samuel. Here's what we have for you this evening. A Vincentian fisherman is the winner of the Grenadines Memorial Award. Counter wildlife trafficking workshop held in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Then on to the how to do segments along with the news and announcements. Please stay tuned. Agri Business Now will be right back.
Water. It is 75% of the Earth's surface, yet it is scarce in some places. It's 70% of our body's mass, yet many do not drink that 8 glasses per day. The forest plays an important part in the water cycle by protecting our watersheds. Water is life. Protect the forest. Preserve life.
Did you know that the OECS Agriculture Competitiveness Project, otherwise known as AgriCom project, has been officially launched?
Well, it was, and the project aims at enhancing access to markets and sales for competitively selected farmers and fisher folks.
But to access funds, you must be part of a productive alliance.
So what is a productive alliance, you ask? It's a business arrangement between farmers and or fisher folks on one hand, and on the other hand, aggregators. Aggregators can be cooperatives, lead farmers, or marketers and agro-processors.
The project provides matching grants to a productive alliance. A minimum of 10 farmers or fishers and an aggregator, such as a lead farmer, a cooperative, marketer, or an agro-processor.
Farmers and fisher folk in Productive Alliance can receive up to $8,000, while the aggregator, lead farmer or fisher, cooperative, marketer, or agro-processor can receive up to $120,000. For more information, please contact Ministry of Agriculture, Richmond Hill at 456-1410 or 456-1111, extension 311 or 321, or email agricomspg@mail.gov.bc.
Thank you for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, you're watching Agri Business Now. President of the National Fisherfolk Organization, Mr. Winsworth Harry, is the proud winner of the Grenadines Memorial Award, which recognizes fishers within the region who possess a vision for sustainable and wise use of marine resources. Upon being nominated by Mr. Orson Victory of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Fisherfolk Organization, Mr. Harry then traveled to the Gulf and Caribbean Fisheries Institute's annual conference in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic during the week of November, where he was presented with the award. Wilbert Jack of the Communications Unit has the details.
With over 2 decades of fishing experience, Winsworth Harry was nominated for an award from the Grenadines Memorial Award GMA Committee. Presently, he is the president of the National Fisherfolk Organization, the NFO, and was selected as the winner of the GMA, which recognizes fishers within the region who possess a vision for sustainable and wise use of marine resources. Harry traveled to the Gulf and Caribbean Fisheries Institute GCFI annual conference in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, where he was presented with the award on Monday, November 4, 2019. In an exclusive interview, Harry explained how he earned this award based on his experiences and achievements.
Well, the award is the Grammy Memorial Award. It is recognized for the works that fishers had contributed in sustainability and marine and conservation towards the fisheries development, and the contribution that you make locally. This award is run from the Gulf. GCFI stands for the Gulf Institute and the Caribbean. So you could imagine that the amount of people that I had to dethrone of my contribution I make until I could come out to be the winner today. I'm very happy. On behalf of the fisheries, the NFO, my primary organization, and the ministry within the agriculture and the fisheries department. This award ceremony took place in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana. I had to travel to accept my award, and this award opened the doors for me and other fishers from my country, even from the Caribbean, because to be a fisherman, to achieve this award is a plus. And me now is to engage my fishers back home regionally, and that we could go towards keep the Caribbean going and keep the light shining and keep the motive going, even for other fishers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to accept this award as well and go in for this award. It's a great achievement because it's like you are the boss of the region, because everybody is, well, thank you, man, you had done achieve a lot, and being from a small island like St. Vincent and the Grenadines and receiving this award is a plus even for the country and me personally. Was able to networking with other fishers at the conference. There was a lot of presentation from scientists, people who did a lot of years of studies in terms of from different fields within the fisheries sector. One of the things that I find is that we need to have more fishers engaged and attending these ceremonies, that the fishermen could be a part of the discussion. And this is one thing I did take the opportunity when I received my award, is to highlight to the forum that if they could create more funding and more opportunity, that fishers could attend and be a part and listen and learn, and they could be more engaged. I think it could take a stepping stone in going forward. And I had the opportunity during my trip to the Dominican Republic is to went fishing to see different metal in fishing. I go to sea, I went to field trip, I was able to engage with a lot of people, do a lot of networking, building the capacity of even my skills in terms of learning other fishery system, getting more information that I could come back home now. I feel I'm in a position that I can share the information and even win other fishers, because I really want to see fishers not to see fishing as catching a fish. There are a lot of opportunities within the fisheries sector. Please don't see fishing as catching a fish. We need people who could add value to fish. We need people who could market the fish. We need engineers. We need people who could repair the boats. So these are the other areas that are opening within the fisheries sector, and it's available. So you could just come. You could be a part of any of the fishing cooperative which is located within your area, or you could come to the fisheries division and you could contact the National Fisher Folks Organization. For me, I would say I use myself as an example, because to engage fishers, you know that the way how people really see the fishers and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not about a fisher doing this and fisher doing that. Is about what the tradition the fishers do, because the fishermen contribute a lot to the healthy diet for the folks. So I will encourage young people to get involved in the fishing industry. The older folks who are going out in the fishing industry, I ask them that they could hand down their information to the younger ones, that they could engage within the fishery industry. Also to the private sectors to be more involved within the fishing industry. There's a lot of avenues and there's a lot of doors that is open up. So I think with the private sector coming and assist the national fisher folk, the fishers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I think it will be a great plus, even to get female as well involved within the fishing industry. You know, we have a lot of females doing vendoring, but we are asking if they could be a part of the cooperative and able to manage and run the board. So get more. The industry is open up. The National Fisher Folks Organization is well willing. My main role now after receiving this award is to come back to St. Vincent to see now how I could have the Southern and the Northern Grenadines be a part of the National Fisher Folks Organization, and see how now I could tie ties with Susquehanna Grenadines, you know, the in charge of the Tobago Keys Marine Park, and pretty soon St. Vincent and the Grenadines will have their first marine protected areas, which is the South Coast Marine Park, which we have a primary fisher folks organization which is based in that marine park, which is the Calfico. We have the boats in Calaqua having icebox. We have the organization, they set them up with a tackle shop, and from there now, time this new park pass, we're going to have looking to have exchange between Susquehanna and the NFO in on mainland, because gaining a marine park, there will be some livelihood will be disrupted. So We make sure putting the fisher folks in a sustainable way, at a long-term way, that although this will be affected, they will still be in a position that they could support their family and even protect their livelihood as well.
With the aim of ensuring that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants do not threaten their survival, the Forestry Services held a 2-day workshop from Monday 14 to Friday 18 October 2019 at the Methodist Hall Conference Room. Vilbert Jack has the details.
Wildlife trade has been a significant issue globally and has been on the increase for many years, and is tantamount to drug cartels and trade, and persons are losing their lives as a result of these trades. To this end, a counter-wildlife trafficking workshop was held on Monday, October 14, 2019 at the Methodist Church Conference Facility in Kingstown. Speaking at this event, Senior Forestry Supervisor Cornelius Richards highlighted some of the steps that are being taken to combat this growing problem.
We have not been spared in St. Vincent. We have had a reason to investigate in the past our St. Vincent parrot being smuggled out of St. Vincent as eggs, being sold by Vincentian as eggs, transshipped through many parts of the Caribbean into Europe. We have been able now, through CITES, to control the trade of these species. But we realize there are several things that must be done to save the species. Of course, we have to look at it, we have to take care of the species in its natural habitat, so the protection of habitats are important. Our colleagues and compadres from Union Island will tell you that they're working assiduously in the Chatham Bay area to form up law enforcement as it regards our gonatoid dudini, our own endemic lizard. They would also tell you, having found out that we now have an endemic strain of iguanas on the island, the pink riding iguana, they're even intensifying their actions on other islands to save the species. Education is important, research is important, community involvement is important, funding is important. But the one we'll be focusing more on during this week is finding ways to control the movement of these species at our borders. At the end of the session, our customs officer, port officers, police officers, health officers, you name it, we will be on one playing field as to what is required to protect our borders against the movement or the illegal trade of animals.
In his brief remarks, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Raymond Ryan, highlighted the work of the Convention on International Trade on Endangered Species, CITES, regarding the trade of wildlife.
CITES, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, is an international agreement between governments. Its aim is to ensure that international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants do not threaten their survival. CITES functions by subjecting international trade in specimens of selected species to certain controls. All imports, exports, re-exports, and introduction from the sea of species covered by the Convention has to be authorized through a licensing system. Each party to the Convention must designate one or more management authority in charge of administering that licensing system, and one or more scientific authorities to advise them on the effects of trade on the status of species.
Fauna and Flora International Caribbean Program Officer Isabel Vique gave a brief overview of the workshop.
In 2015, we started working with the Forestry Department and the Union Island environmental attackers in the conservation of the Union Island gecko that most of you might know. Ever since, we've been working together not only with the gecko, but also with iguanas and other species, and it's our pleasure to be here collaborating with the different agencies involved in the conservation of nature. This workshop is not only happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This month, we will be delivering this workshop in St. Lucia and Barbados. The different countries have wanted to be involved in these kind of trainings because they value how important it is to have the capacity in place and how the national agencies need to build their capacity to be able to fight wildlife crime.
In his brief remarks, the would-be trainer, Justin Gosling, who is the law enforcement and criminal justice consultant, gave a synopsis of what the workshop will seek to address.
Something that's changed over the last 10 years or so in terms of the way the world's law enforcement agencies and policymakers work on wildlife crime is they're giving it much greater attention. Not so long ago, it was considered a low-level issue. It wasn't something to be taken seriously. It wasn't as serious as other forms of crime. But now we're more aware of the impact of wildlife crime, including the poaching and trafficking of plants and animals from the land and the sea, including reptiles, amphibians, birds, fish, coral. I think we know now that climate change is arguably the greatest threat to all life on Earth, with devastating consequences already visible. And the least that we can do, and I say we meaning all of us here, is to prevent that loss is to ensure that wildlife criminals don't contribute to it. We can't let them get away with committing the crimes for their own greed and their own financial gain, noting that the most serious organised crimes are financially motivated. This workshop's going to focus on developing the skills and knowledge to tackle serious transnational organised crime, using techniques employed in other forms of serious organised crime. We'll work on gathering information and intelligence. We'll work on managing crime scenes effectively to gather maximum evidence and how we can use that evidence to secure just prosecutions and prevent and reduce wildlife crime in the long term.
Director of Forestry Fitzgerald Providence stressed on the importance of environmental protection.
Our champion flagship species was the St. Vincent parrot, and we're gonna, with our international connections and the breeding program with ICTP, we're gonna be getting back 3 in terms of to help us with our breeding program here in St. Vincent. But we need to recognize the importance of protecting our environment and the values that it contains. Our biodiversity is rich and it contains a lot of species. After we discovered the endemic gonatoad, we're now realizing that our iguana that we took for granted as just a normal iguana is a unique species to the Grenadines. And we learned about that because it was marketed outside as a special pink rhino iguana, but not. We just thought it was a regular iguana. Now, due to genetics tests, we're realizing it is a unique subspecies and it's unique to the Grenadines, like Union Island and the other islands around. So it's important that we start gaining more and more information about the endemic and our local flora and fauna. And it's not only animals that are traded, but also plants. Persons tend to want to take gifts every time they go. They see something unique, they want to take it, they want to bring it in. The invasive Cuban frog, brought in accidentally, and now is a threat to our forests and our species here. And also we have an endemic species that can threaten also if it gets into our forest area. So we're working to keep it out of the forest and to keep it from spreading, because it's not one of ours and it's in danger to our environment. So it's important that we continue to work astutely in terms of protecting our environment and getting knowledge that we can spread it so that we can be better stewards of our St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Please stay tuned. Our How to Do segment is up next. You do not want to miss this.
Did you know that the OECS Agriculture Competitiveness Project, otherwise known as AgriCom project, has been officially launched?
Well, it was, and the project aims at enhancing access to markets and sales for competitively selected farmers and fisher folks.
But to access funds, you must be part of a productive alliance.
So what is a productive alliance, you ask? It's a business arrangement between farmers and or fisher folks on one hand, and on the other hand, aggregators. Aggregators can be cooperatives, lead farmers, or marketers and agro-processors.
The project provides matching grants to a productive alliance. A minimum of 10 farmers or fishers and an aggregator, such as a lead farmer, a cooperative, marketer, or an agro-processor.
Farmers and fisher folk in Productive Alliance can receive up to $8,000 while the aggregator, lead farmer or fisher, cooperative, marketer or agro-processor can receive up to $120,000. For more information, please contact Ministry of Agriculture, Richmond Hill at 456-1410 or 456-1111, extension 311 or 321, or email agricomsvg@mail.gov.bc.
On today's How to Do segment, you're going to learn about the budding of citrus plants. It's quite easy to do.
Budding the plant. The rootstock is ready for budding when it reaches a height of about 18 inches and the stem is about 1/4 inch thick or as thick as an ordinary pencil. Plants that are properly managed are ready in about 7 months after sowing of the seeds. Budwood is selected from trees that are high yielding and produces fruits of excellent quality. The scion, locally called the budwood, should be ready for the procedure. Usually, these are wrapped in a moist cloth or newspaper to prevent them from becoming dried out during the procedure. Budding using the teakut. With a sharp, clean budding knife, make an inverted teakut through the back of the upper portion of the stem of the rootstock. Lift the sides of the vertical cut of the T at the point where they meet the horizontal cut. Remove the bud from the budwood with a shield of bark around it. Insert the bud in an upright position between the lifted back of the teakut. Wrap the inserted bud with plastic. Place in a shaded area. After 14 days, the bud should have united with the rootstock. Remove the plastic and observe the budded area. If the budwood is green in color, the procedure was successful. Those that did not unite will be brown. Cut the top of the rootstock about 1 inch above the budded area. The plant is then left to grow. On a weekly basis, observe for the emergence of shoots above or below the budwood. If any is seen, remove them as they prevent the budded portion of the plant from growing. The budded plant is left to grow in a shaded area. If these steps are followed, I am sure you will be successful in budding of your own citrus plant. If not, please contact your extension officer or any of the propagation stations.
Here are the news and announcements.
The Ministry of Agriculture, through the Department of Labour, is inviting persons to apply for the following available position on the Guyana Work Programme: electrical engineer, project management, electrician, plumbers, welders, and food and beverage. Please note, only persons with certification including CVQ and TVET certification will be eligible for the positions. Please call 4562-349 for an appointment. Persons without appointments will not be accommodated. Please bring along 2 passport-size pictures, national ID, passport or driver's license, NIS card, names, address, telephone number, email address, and occupation of 2 references, and a prepared resume is welcome.
We are at the end of another program. I hope that you enjoyed it. For more information, you are welcome to contact us at the Communications Unit within the Ministry of Agriculture at 456-1111, extension 312 or 472, or email us at citumaf2@hotmail.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Agri Business Now St. Vincent, and click on the bell to get notifications on new videos, or like our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/agribusinessnow. Until next time, I am Nakita Samuel.